through, but of course we know we have the Bigfoot Festival here, right? Everybody knows that. We got it right there. Yeah. Also, we have the Liver Mush Festival here. I don't know about no liver mush, but some other neat stuff. The town is named after General Francis Marion of the Revolutionary War. Yeah. And also, Marion, North Carolina was home to Sergeant Daniel Knight, who was one of 2 survivors in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Yes. So that is that's really cool. And then also you have the McDowell House, built in 1787, and that's where the county's named after, and he played a large part in the Battle of Cowpens. So I thought that was a lot of history here. Downtown Marion once had they called it the Big Fire in 1894, and took out most of downtown, and even the remaining buildings that were brick, they were gutted. And then we had to rebuild, but now it is a National Register of Historic Places, even after the rebuild, so that's pretty crazy. And the reason it burned down the way it did, there was no public water access, so they were actually carrying a bucket to, like, moving buckets person by person by person, trying to put out a fire. It's like going to war with a pocket knife and they've got a machine gun. Wasn't going to be able to fix it. Also, you have Lake James and some cool movies. Last of the Mohicans was filmed there, but also The Hunt for Red October was filmed there. So who would have thought that would have filmed that on a lake, Lake James? And y'all had some really, really famous people that come from this town. Richard Irwin was the first African-American elected statewide official for North Carolina to come from Marion, North Carolina. Gus Greenlee created the second Negro League Baseball League, also on Greenlee Field, which is where the Pittsburgh Steelers used to hold training camps. And it was one of only a couple ballparks that the Negro League actually owned, and he paid for it himself. And that gentleman is right here from. Then you also had a couple of famous athletes, and Greg Holland, pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, which is a lot of Walmart money in the Kansas City Royals, because David Glass is part owner of the Royals, who really set up. Sam Walton had the retail piece, but for y'all that didn't know, David Glass revolutionized retail because he would build the distribution, and then we built the Walmarts around it. And then that way we were paying for our own distribution and not having to pay a third party. And we saved a ton of money. And I will tell you, like the truck drivers used to, if they pulled in, when they left with an empty, they didn't go back to the DC. They always logistically had to go pick up a load to get to the DC to get it shipped for anything that was made around here. And we were so far ahead of everybody in this country because of that. And that's how we grew the way we did. Yeah, and it kept the prices low. Dwayne Ledford, NFL player and offensive line coach for the Falcons. And then graduating from high school here was Sarah McMahon, 04 silver medalist in the Olympics. And then Orlando Mendez played for the Harlem Globetrotters. But also you do have one famous basketball coach that's from here. On a team I can also say I'm not a fan of. Chad's not a fan either. But probably one of the greatest basketball coaches ever, Roy Williams, is right here. So some really cool facts. I don't know, I like sharing those, and it's neat to learn all that. This is a pretty awesome place y'all live in. Y'all should be very proud of this town. And just a few years ago, what was it, 2017, rated best small town, wasn't it? Yes. Best small town in America in 2017. I forgot to put that one up. Thank y'all. I appreciate